Back again. Okay, I want to talk to you about triple panel. What's a triple panel? Well, let me share a screen and I will help you out with that triple panel. What's a triple panel? I don't know. What's a triple panel? This is going to show it to us. Okay, so let me flip on my light so I get better light. So this is what I mean by a triple panel. You've got good paper that I gave you. And these are the sizes of that good paper. So you're going to tape it down to something, a coffee table, a kitchen table. I have these laminated things from school. They used to be our like pride things hanging all over the school, but we've changed that. So they gave them to me, but they're laminated. So if you have a big piece of something laminated, anything that you can tape this down to, all right, that way your paper won't wrinkle, and then you take it off of the background when it dries. Hopefully you can, maybe you have a desk, you can just tape it down to your desk. Okay, so this is one that I started and I did not finish this, so I left the tape on it so I can tape it down. But notice we've got sky or land to sky, petal flowers, tulip flowers, little splatter. This one got splattered ahead of time. So of course, if you're going to do any splattering, splatter after your backgrounds or your paint is dry or before you paint. So I haven't done one on this, gotta try it. Okay, here's another example of triple panel. You can do anything you want in your triple panels. I don't care if you do flowers, if you do trees, if you do buildings, if you do mountains, if you do what silhouette drawings, maybe you do a radial sun kind of background, wait till it dries, and then you put whatever you're going to put on it. I will tell you for sure, backgrounds need to dry before you be adding, it sounds like I don't know how to talk. Before you add any of this stuff on top, your background must be dry. Do not splatter until everything is dry. I usually splatter at the end, and I splatter with the color that I used for my flowers. So this is the purple. Okay, this one, I used that pink that I was using for the colors. This one, some splatter got on it. I didn't mean for it to do. Notice I did a mix of the flower or different flowers, right? We got tulip flowers, we got petal flowers. Notice they all turn out a little bit different. I did some little just instead of really dry brushing, I tried different color greens. Look, we got the little yellow green, the blue green. So make sure that you look at the pictures that are on the slideshow, because there's all kinds of examples. If you make a copy of that slideshow, you can blow it up and look for yourself. Here's some paper towel cloud, that lifting technique. Notice the different variegated colors on the leaves and stems. Notice this got really blue. This is not so much. Really deep purple, loved that. Okay, here's another triple panel we got going on here. You try some buildings. I have not talked about buildings, but if you're going to do buildings, do a super duper light tan, the lightest tan, like some water with a light drop of brown, and do your framing first, and go find a picture. I found a picture of a castle, and then I just started making it my own. And then gradually add a little more brown and start doing your shading. The very last part you do is your black, right? And it's not even really black, it's just very dark brown. And I did the windows and stuff. Now I will tell you, think about where your light's coming from, right? If my light's coming from this direction, this side of the building was a little darker, okay? If it's coming from this direction, notice I took a dry brush and did that lifting like we did on the tulips for the blue right here. I lifted some paint, so it made it look like the sun is coming from this direction. Paper towel cloud, I did that whole panel and wet on wet with the blue and did paper towel clouds. When it dried, I decided maybe a castle in the sky. This one, as you can see, there's a bunch of different flowers. I wasn't really impressed with these flowers. They were very light, and so I just stopped, but I just need to add stems, and guess what? I got me a picture there. I tried some of those trees here. I wasn't really happy with my background, but went ahead and put some trees, and then I just left it at that. Could always add something in the foreground. Maybe I want to add some flowers in the foreground. Okay, so play around with that. Something else that you can do on these blues, if you lay down this blue, you could take a lid and dip it in alcohol and do, remember, alcohol has to be done on wet paint. So when this is wet, instead of trying the paper towel clouds, maybe you take a lid, dip it in alcohol, and then lay it down really quick. And then you'll get this almost a moon effect up here. And so you could have a night sky scene instead. Notice with the trees, darker trees go in the background and then gradually get lighter and lighter to the front. Okay, and then this is another way that you can do a panel. I did it in half and I wanted to do, this is a silhouette. Maybe you try a silhouette. I just went and found a picture online that I really liked and I tried it. Okay. Later I added some silver paint. But you know, you don't have to have silver paint and I didn't really need that. But notice I did this radial background with really just yellows and then added an orange to it and completed it all with orange, let it dry. And then I started with the tree and then I added the cat. All right. So, and the leaves. And then after it dried, I kept going back and adding to my leaves. And then this side, I made, of course, the stripes. I had really thick tape. And then I tried doing some other things. I wasn't really happy with these. Notice splatter when wet. Don't do splatter when wet unless you want that technique. Those little dry brush squiggles at the bottom. These were really watery. I don't know if I tried to do it before my background was dry yet. And then I tried little bit of trees here, look at in the water. So I tried this reflection, like as if this was real water. But again, that was the first time I ever tried that. But you could do a panel like this. You could also lay your paper down. Here, I'm gonna put this background up here. I'm gonna grab me a piece of the paper that you have. Okay, things to think about with this paper. You have a smooth side and you have a side that you can see the bumps more. Have the bumpy side up, okay? It's not gonna hurt you if you forget, but pay attention to your paper and you'll get different techniques. The watercolors lay differently on different surfaces and different types of paper. This is a 140-pound paper. You can get a pad of it for like $5.50. 30 sheets, 9 by 12, I believe, online. That's very good to use. Oh, it's getting really bright outside. Sorry, you guys. I shut my curtains. So smooth side down, bumpy side up. I'm just going to lay it down here. And I'm just going to start taping so I have a frame. Okay. You could do this on your table, on your desk. It doesn't matter where you do it. Maybe you have a surface. Maybe you have something hard plastic. Like I have some hard pieces of plastic at school that kids can use as well. It just makes it harder to have some place to dry when everybody's got wet paint. So these flimsy ones, I have a metal rack. If you had me as a 6th grader, you know that metal rack works really well for that. Okay. And then I'm just gonna, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just gonna make 3 panels here. Again, you could make 6 panels. Maybe you do this 3 and then maybe you divide it in half and you try 6 different little things. Whoa, you will see a sample of the 6th panel on the slideshow. I had one. In fact, I tried mountains and something. I tried different backgrounds in every one. Now I will tell you that when you do this triple panel, make sure everything's down so your paint doesn't leach underneath it. And then when you lift it, you'll lift it very carefully so that it doesn't grab the paper and rip it. And you'll always sign your work. Okay, but here we go. We got this. Okay, again, you could make another piece of tape across here and have 6 little panels and try different things. Now, when you're going to do panel drawing, if you want to do a background, remember, whether it's a land to sky background or let's see, do I have it under here, or a radial background, you got to let them dry before you put anything on them. Okay, so I always do them first, and while maybe I do to 2, while I let those dry, then I try something on a dry, like wet paint on dry. So let's just try it. Well, I think I'll stop this video here and then I'll come back and try it so that everybody knows this is the triple panel deal and you've got some tips. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. That was the triple panel. Everybody's responsible for turning in at the end of the week at least one triple panel. If you do 6 and you try different things, that's even better. Remember, this week is practice. So if you do your triple panel on one day and call it good, and you don't put in any more practice, we'll be able to tell. Remember, you're practicing all this stuff so that you can do your travel poster, which we're going to start next week. So I really want you to be thinking about, where do I want to go? Where do I want to travel to? And of course, I'll have tons of examples of watercolor travel posters that you can grab ideas from. This is a multimedia technique with watercolor. You can use pastels, you could use markers, you can use pencil, you can add all kinds of different things to your piece. I'm just giving you a little heads up. Okay, I'm going to stop this.